Good evening to all of you. Let's discuss some important current affairs. Today, I will be discussing only three issues. The one is related to the Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojana. The second one will be a news related to the Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate of economy in the year 2006, now has been sentenced to the prison. And the third is the recognition of a party as a state party. What are the terms and conditions decided by the Election Commission of India to designate any party as a state party? So I am starting with the Prime Minister, a very visionary man. I think the most visionary Prime Minister India has ever got. In Delhi, we know there is 200 units electricity is free. I don't remember when I paid my last electricity bill, and it is a gospel truth. Everyone is getting benefited out of it. No matter you are
BJP.
the resident of Delhi or not the resident of Delhi, if you are living in Delhi and the meter is there, you will certainly get benefited. Our Prime Minister has decided a bigger plan to get rid of the electricity bill, and that is PM Suryodaya Yojana. This scheme was pronounced just after the inauguration of the Lord Rama temple in Ayodhya. And what will be done through this scheme? 1 crore people will be selected across India. And these 1 crore people will be provided the solar panel. Solar panel. That's why the name of this scheme is Suryodaya Yojana. So it is going to be the cleanest form of the energy, and these eligible 1 crore people will be provided the solar panel, the solar rooftop, and through that they can bring the light into their respective houses. So as I have told you, 1 crore people. So what is the eligibility of these 1 crore people? One more thing you need to know, why we are emphasizing over the sun energy. One of the reason is that it is a clean form of energy. Apart from this, India has decided a target to achieve 40 gigawatt solar energy through the solar rooftop. And this scheme is going to play a very crucial role in order to achieve this objective. By the way, this objective should have been achieved by the December 2023. But by December 2023, it was not achieved. But I think through this scheme, if it is getting implemented properly, certainly we can reach very close to this 40 gigawatt energy which we want to achieve through the solar rooftop. As far as eligibility of the 1 crore people is concerned, so the first thing that he should be the resident of India, permanent resident of India, permanent resident of India. The second condition is he should not be a government employee. he should not be a government employee, no matter what is the nature of the government job. He should not be the government employee. And the third thing is his annual income. His annual income should not exceed more than 1.5 lakh in a year. 1.5 lakh in a year. So these are three criteria. The permanent resident of India, 1.5 lakh is the income criteria. And the third thing is he should not be any kind of government employee. If anyone fulfills, he will certainly get the solar rooftop. Through that he can enjoy the solar energy and he can bring the light in his house. Muhammad Yunus. People are thinking this man who was awarded with the Nobel Prize of Economy in 2006, what kind of crime this man has committed? He is 83 years old. What has he done that the Bangladesh court has sentenced him? So look, actually this man never had very peaceful relation with the Sheikh Hasina. Sheikh Hasina is the present Prime Minister of Bangladesh. In 2006, when this Muhammad Yunus won the Nobel Prize, at that time he became very well known, especially before this international arena. And at that time he told that I will fight an election. I want to make a political party. And obviously Sheikh Hasina, as that time she used to be inside the prison because some charges of extortion had been framed against her. That's why she was in prison. So she thought that he is going to be my political opponent. Later on, this Muhammad Yunus, when he realized the ground reality, couldn't get the support in order to have the political party, he abandoned his idea. Sometimes the situation became so critical between Muhammad Yunus and Sheikh Hasina that Sheikh Hasina told that he is a bloodsucker of the poor people. Why she said this thing? Because Muhammad Yunus, actually we should also know what has he done that he was given the Nobel Prize in economy. So what was happening, that the people who were poor people in Bangladesh, as they were poor, they were not able to get the loan from the banks because the kind of criteria they had to fulfill, like the collateral condition was there. Since they were poor, they were not getting the benefit of this facility provided by the banks. And in these circumstances, this Muhammad Yunus comes and he gives the idea of a Grameen Bank. By the way, before Grameen Bank, he had helped the people to get the loan without collateral, and later on the whole idea of this thing was given the name of the Grameen Bank. So you can say through Grameen Bank, this man brought millions of people out of poverty in Bangladesh. And because of this thing, this Muhammad Yunus was awarded with the Nobel Prize of Economy in 2006. This Muhammad Yunus, now the question is, why has he been sentenced? So he has an NGO, and the government of Bangladesh is saying that the NGO of he was the head of that NGO has not followed the labor laws. Labor laws. What kind of labor laws the NGO was supposed to follow? The first, you can say, what happens that if there is a profit, then there is a certain amount of the profit you have to divide among the employees. The second criteria is that if any worker is working for such a certain number of years, it is your responsibility to make him permanent. So these kinds of things were not done by the NGO whose head was Muhammad Yunus. This was the violation of the labor laws, not making employee permanent after completing a certain number of years, not dividing the profit. By the way, NGOs are not known for the profit, but whatever money is coming, a certain proportion of that money had to be divided among the employees. These kinds of things were not done. There were some other things. I am not going into that technicality. My concern is that the NGO of Muhammad Yunus violated the labor laws, and for this violation, this person has been sentenced or has been provided the punishment. Because he is not a common man, he had been awarded with the Nobel Prize. Therefore, what happened that so many people across the world, they came forward and they told that the Bangladeshi government of Bangladesh is not doing good with this 83 years old man. More than hundreds of his colleagues related to Nobel Prize came forward. Some other people like Barack Hussein Obama and this Ban Ki-moon, these kinds of people, they also came forward and told that whatever is being done with Muhammad Yunus, it is injustice. In response, Sheikh Hasina told that if you doubt in the legal procedure in Bangladesh, you all are welcome and you can check it. We are not doing anything as a sort of vendetta politics. Whatever is happening, it is happening having law on the backdrop. So that is the condition of Muhammad Yunus. He is facing a very critical situation nowadays. The third issue is related to the recognition of a party as a state party. In one of my previous lectures, I have discussed the recognition of a party as a national party. So today, I am going to discuss how a party can be recognized as a state party. As the UP election is on the words, as well as the Lok Sabha election will also be celebrated. This is going to be the biggest festival of any democratic country like India. So there are 4 or 5 criteria decided by the Election Commission of India. If the party fulfills any one of them, not all of them, party can be recognized as a state party. And the very first criteria is that if the party attains 6% valid votes during the state general election or during the election of the legislative assembly. Please keep in mind, I am telling the state general election, not the Lok Sabha election. So during that election, if any party wins 6% valid votes, plus, this is not the only criteria, plus, how many seats?
2.
Yes, 2 seats. 2 seats. So 2 seats and 6% valid votes during the state general election or during the legislative election. In case of UP, as the UP Vidhan Sabha elections are about to take place, if in that election your party gets or fulfills this criteria, 6% vote plus 2 seats, your party will be recognized as a state party. This is the first criteria. The second criteria is you have to change the election. This was related to the state general election. The second criteria is related to the Lok Sabha election. The general election. During the general election, if the party gets again how much? 6% valid votes and how many seats?
1.
1 seat. 1 seat in the
Lok
National Assembly, or you can say in the Lok Sabha. UP has how many seats? 80 seats. 80 seats. There are 403 seats in the Vidhan Sabha and 80 seats. So out of 80, if you are winning 1 seat from your state plus 6% valid votes, even then your party will be recognized as a state party. This is the second criteria. The third criteria talks about during the state general election. During the state general election, if your party gets 3% valid votes or 3 seats, look, 3% or 3 seats, whichever is higher. Whichever is higher. You don't need to fulfill both the things. Any one of either, whichever is more, you have to fulfill that criteria. You can understand by taking the example of UP. In UP, there are 403 seats. Because I am talking with respect to the state general election. So 403 seats are there. What will be the 3% of 403? It will be 12 by and large. 12, and the second is 3 seats. So which one is more? This is more. 3% is more here, not the 3 seats. So in case of UP, if your party wants to get recognized as a state party, you have to win 12 seats. And in case of Manipur,
Short.
there are 60 seats. And the same logic, if you are applying, then what will be the 3% of 60? It will be 1.8 or it will be 2. So here it is 2. And this side will come 3. So in the second situation where the number of seats in the legislative assembly are 60, this one is more and this is less. And in case of UP, this 3% is more. In case of Manipur, this 3% is less. So I have told you whichever is more, you have to fulfill that criteria. So in case of UP, you have to go by these 12 seats, and in case of Manipur, you have to go with this one, 3. So my concern is that 3% or 3 seats, whichever is more, if you are fulfilling that criteria, even in this condition, your party will be recognized as a state party. Now, the fourth criteria is, what is the fourth criteria? The fourth criteria is that in every 25 seats of the state legislative assembly, if you are winning one seat of what?
Lok Sabha.
Yes, you are right, but I have used the term legislative. I should have used what? The number of seats, those are 80. So the number of seats provided to the state, I mean the number of Lok Sabha seats. So there are 80 seats, 80 seats, and every 25 seat, so 25, 25 and 25, so these are 75, and these are the Lok Sabha seats allotted to UP. So what is there? I mean, out of every 25, one seat. So 3 seats, because 25 total is 75. So 3 seats you have to win in the out of this 80 during the Lok Sabha election. So if the number of seat any state has different, then you can change your criteria. Let's assume any state has how many? 50 seats.
50 नहीं,
Hmm?
50 किसी स्टेट में नहीं.
I am giving an example
40.
for the calculation. I am giving an example. If any state has 50 seats, then in every 25, one seat will be counted. So 25 by 25, 2 seats you have to win the 2 seats. By the way, there is no any state which has the 50 seats in connection to the Lok Sabha. Okay. So you have to keep in mind that in every 25 seat, one seat will be counted of the Lok Sabha seat allotted to that state. If you are not understanding it, please keep in mind one seat for every 25. Okay, because some of the things sometimes you need to do by yourself in order to understand that. The last criteria is what? The last criteria is, and this criteria was added in the year 2011. And this criteria is that if the party wins or gets 8% valid votes, 8% valid votes, either during the state general assembly election or during the Lok Sabha election, because the population of the state will be same whether it is the Lok Sabha election or it is the Vidhan Sabha election. And you have to, if the Lok Sabha election as it will take place, and from UP, if your party is winning how much? 8% seat, and the UP Vidhan Sabha election is also going to take place, even in that case, if your party is winning 8%. So this criteria was added in the year 2011, and if your party is fulfilling any one of the criteria, you can certainly enjoy a status of a state party. By the way, nowadays people are running behind the status of a national party, but you can say it is a sort of bridge in order to reach at the platform of the national party. So these were the things which I wanted to discuss in my today's class. Rest of the things I will keep on discussing in my coming classes. Namaskar.